Okay, we are on episode 2 of Mining Now, and if you weren't sick of me before, now there's 2 of me on the show. Hello, Jordan.
Hi.
Jordan Downey. I'm Jared Downey. I'm your host. Jordan, though, is part of Savona Equipment. I'm sure you've seen them sponsoring the show. You've seen some of our episodes. Thank you, Jordan, for coming on the show. Glad to have you back. I think this is our 3rd or 4th episode together.
Thank you for having me. Always love to be here.
You know, they can't be that bad because they always get really high views and people watch for a long time. So whatever we're doing it can't be that bad.
Well, for us, it's great to get out there, and it's a chance to communicate with our customers that a lot of times, it's not direct, but, it gives us a chance to let people know what we're about, and I think they appreciate that and they enjoy it.
Well, and I think, it's a company that's been around a long time. I mean, people know when you walk around, people know the name Savona Equipment, but I think in any company, it's easy to sort of lose sight of, you just don't talk to people. I mean, Obviously they phone you when they want to do business. So you just, I've talked to people that, oh yeah, I bought something from there 20 years ago. And it's just like, oh yeah, that company, right? So it's sort of nice to sort of get out and just remind people. Where do you see, when you're talking to Savona and just sort of explaining sort of where your niche is, how do you sort of, sell used equipment? I mean, that's what Savona Equipment is known for, but sort of where is that value add that sort of people know Savona for?
I would say for good quality used equipment. It's when they need something and they need it quickly and they need it to work, they can come to us and they can find it. They can take their chances on classifieds or something like that. But when they need to rely on somebody and they need to rely on the equipment, then they can come to us, and usually they expect that equipment to be ready to go into service. That's not always the case. There's, we sell used equipment, so some of it, needs to be refurbished or reconditioned, but normally we do that. So that's our niche on the supply side. It's also sourcing and finding good equipment for clients when they need it. It doesn't do any good if it's too early or too late. They need it when they need it, and normally they can't wait. That's why they're coming to us instead of going to a new supplier. So it's cost, they want to save some money, and timing. They need to save time. Right now there's really long lead times, a lot of equipment. So it's for them, it's an opportunity to find something faster, but they need to know that that's going to be plug and play and ready to go.
Yeah.
Now let's take a moment to thank our sponsors. First up, we have Apex Automation. Looking to solve a problem? Apex Automation has a solution. Their proven track record has helped organizations streamline production and improve team morale by removing mundane tasks and lower operation costs and burdens. Robotics, advanced process control, and machine learning are examples of what Apex Automation can provide. Have an idea and looking for a trusted consultant who can deliver? Contact Apex Automation today and start your team's automation journey. Visit them, apexautomation.ca, to learn more. Next up, we have General Kinematics. Revolutionize the way you think about screening with General Kinematics STM Screen 2-mass vibratory screen. Using General Kinematics proven 2-mass technology, this innovative screen is capable of handling increased capacities by up to 40%. With 2-mass natural frequency, load surges are no longer a problem. The load responsive design increases retention time, working the material longer, which increases screening efficiency. All these features combine to provide the most efficient, longest lasting, and lowest cost of ownership screen in the industry. General Kinematics STM Screen, screen smarter. Visit them at generalkinematics.com to learn more. Next up, we have Fuller Brothers. Fuller Brothers Inc. has over 59 years of tire industry experience as the world's leader in providing non-hazardous, non-toxic products that reduce tire management costs for a diverse range of customers. The acknowledged formula developers of the globally recognized Tire Life. Fuller Brothers also produces other quality products such as PSF Plus, PSF Lubes It, Tire Cream, Dripless Tire Paint, Omega Tire Repair System, as well as select tire service tools and tire painting equipment. For more information, you can visit them at fullerbros.com or by calling toll-free at 1-800-547-7785. Fuller Brothers, we have the inside covered. Next up, we have Cal Tire Mining Tire Group. As a partner focused on helping customers improve ESG, safety, productivity, and tire performance, Cal Tires Mining Tire Group provides innovative solutions at every stage of a tire's life, including retreading, ultra repair, thermal conversion, OTR tire recycling, and a MAPLE program for carbon emissions reporting. Their award-winning tire management tools boost safety, while Tom's, a proprietary tire maintenance planning tool, elevates fleet use. Learn more at caltiremining.com. And last but not least, we have OptiSize. OptiSize is a leading-edge geophysical acquisition design and software company. OptiSize provides innovative seismic survey designs and utilizing the latest field technology and optimizing for advanced processing and quantitative interpretation techniques. OptiSize's mission is to bring sustainable exploration solutions to energy development with their custom land footprint reduction technology, EcoSize. EcoSize enables operators to focus on reducing their environmental and greenhouse gas footprint while imaging all their subsurface targets and reducing costs. Visit them at optisize.com to learn more. Now, let's get back to the interview.
I want to talk, about also the other side of it, selling your equipment, getting it out into the industry and that sort of thing. I want to talk about your product line and some of the plants and everything like that. But I also, something that came to mind sort of just before we started the show was the shipping side of it, because Savona does a lot of the shipping, and in today's world, that's not a little thing. Shipping is not. It used to be difficult. Now sometimes it's halfway impossible. That must be a big thing. You know, I mean, I can probably, if someone tells me what equipment I can probably Google it and find something for sale. It's a whole other thing actually getting it from Latin America down to South Africa or wherever it needs to be, or from up north down to Mexico. I mean, that must be one of the first questions you're getting half the time is, do you handle this side of it?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much every time. You know, the heart of what we do is is it good equipment that we're supplying? And B is, can we get it there? So a lot of it's oversized. You know, it's got to be moved from some remote site, gravel roads. Then it's got to be packaged in containers, flat racks, or depending on the size.
Yeah.
And then it's got to, get to the port. It's got to get shipped. Sounds easy. It's not. And some places are easier to ship from than others. So yeah, I mean, I would say 90% of our clients ask us to handle the shipping.
Yeah.
Because it is complicated, from, where it is to paperwork to, they're just not that familiar with the process. So we look after it.
Well, it came to my mind because when we had, Aspen Tech, hard to miss them, they're right behind us. When they're sponsoring the show, they're doing a lot of the technology stuff. But one of the conversations that came up is when they're doing, AI and all that stuff, but they've been doing it for years before it sort of became mainstream to do it. Now all of a sudden shipping, I mean, people in coffee shops talk about shipping now.
Mhm.
You didn't talk about shipping 10 years ago, we were 5 years ago. Now it's such a forefront. It must be sort of a nice little value add all of a sudden that you're the company been handling shipping for 30 years. It's not, this isn't new.
Yeah.
It's Savona.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's gotten a little bit more expensive, but it's the same thing we've been doing for a long time. There's nothing really new other than the challenges of finding containers and getting it out of the port and just timing everything. If something gets stuck on a port, it's big bucks. So we do our best to make sure that doesn't happen. So
on the tracking down this equipment, I mean, so much of it is online, but then I'll find back when I was working with Savona doing some of the website things, it was hard to find. If you look up a ball mill, you'll find ball mills everywhere.
Mhm.
But now if you're trying to integrate something that's attached to the right drive or something like that, that must play a part too, of just knowing where some of this equipment is actually sitting, and if someone actually needs to sell it or it's not in service anymore. Is that going on quite a bit?
it is. The last couple of years, for obvious reasons, there has been a lot more of that. A lot of the equipment is specialized, so it's very specific equipment to do a specific job. So, it's tough to find that on the used market. And that's where we come in. Once we get the request, then we put it out to our contacts and try and source it. And, sometimes it works and we find it. Sometimes, if you have to order new, it could be a long lead time. So sometimes there's, companies will make something work. Maybe it's not perfect, exactly what they need, but we do our best to find it.
We just before an hour before we had Aspen Tech on, and was talking about that longevity that, they're in the heavy technology side. And so they've been doing it for 40 years though. How much of a role do you think that plays? Back again, when I was with Savona and even here, I'll mention them. So many people know about it. When it comes to the used equipment industry, I'd be nervous if I was just going to look up online and just find a piece.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that, how many people are reaching out, and maybe it is online somewhere else, but they're actually working through you just because they want to make sure that it actually lands in Chile or in Peru from the other side of the world?
Yeah, they want to deal with an established company that has a reputation of supplying the equipment in good shape, or at least how it was advertised. So, you can find something on a classified site, which may or may not work out. So, the last few years, people aren't traveling as much, so they really rely on us to provide proper information. If there's work to be done, refurbishing work, reconditioning work, they rely on us to do that as we say we're going to do it, and ship it, and it gets delivered and doesn't get stuck somewhere. We provide even a lot of the shipping. A lot of the equipment we sell, we arrange the shipping as well, up to
right. That still happens a lot internally then.
Yeah.
So
and now it's we can, lots of videos, photos, live video chats to look at equipment. We provide all that, and they can feel confident that they're getting what they're paying for.
Isn't it funny? You've been with the company long enough. Like 10 years ago, you get used to doing it a certain way. Like now, doing a live video. 10 years ago, you did not do that. The amount of trust you had to put in to buy, $150,000 piece of equipment that's going across the water, and it's someone you've never met, never talked to, and they torn it out of a mine up north, and now they're going to ship it across. Does it make it easier, or does it actually provide more challenges? In a sense that now there's more back and forth, and more people know that they can get more details, so they demand more details.
It's not utilized as much as it probably should be. A lot of it is still reliant on trust, on communication, the relationship you build with your clients. You would think that people would use live chat and things like that more, to live videos, to look at the equipment. And
I just gave you a whole bunch more work.
They don't. I'm happy to do it. I offer it, but a lot of it is just based on building relationships and trust. And I would expect that it's going to be more and more, they're going to want you to walk around the equipment, on a Zoom meeting, but you can't always do that. A lot of this equipment is remote.
Right.
So it's going that way, but people don't adopt it as quickly as you would expect.
Well, like I said, I probably just gave you a whole bunch more work. I want to kind of flip it around though. It's easy when you talk about a company like Savona to talk about it from the buyer's side, but your whole supply chain is people selling equipment too.
Mm-hmm.
So can you sort of talk through that, about just the different ways that you're actually inventorying essentially?
Well, even what I mentioned before, like when someone needs something and you're trying to find it on the spot, a used piece of equipment, that's very difficult. And we can pull that from anywhere in the world, but how do you know where that is?
Mm-hmm.
So that's, increasingly, I think that's our focus right now with the supply chain issues is, kind of cataloging where used equipment might be and where we can reach out and pull it out of when someone needs it. It's pretty challenging, but we put a lot of work into building that network.
When people are trying to sell their equipment, are now again being Savona equipment as long as it has I mean, are a lot of people, is there that ongoing, like 30 years from ago that someone started and they're still saying, okay, we've got to sell this now, and they just come to you? Is that still a pretty big part of the business?
Yeah, it is. But a lot of people are focused on operating their plants, operating their mines.
Right.
They're not always thinking about selling assets that they don't need. So, you really have to, build relationships and remind people that this is an avenue where they can sell it. So once you have that relationship established, you hope that people remember you and remember that you're an avenue which they can sell their assets. And we do most of the work. I mean, once we get the information, the price, once we have that, then we do all the advertising work ourselves.
Do you like some of your website functions? I mean, I was a small part of it way back, but now it's been quite a while now. So what are some of the functions now? Are people still uploading equipment? Are they reaching out directly? I mean, it's sort of different levels of capability with people. So do you sort of have different avenues that people can get the equipment on?
We do. I mean, there's thousands of items on our website, and there's tens. There can be 10 items a day. There could be 40 items that need to go up in a day. So, a lot of clients will build or they'll make an account and then they can just upload their equipment. We have an app, the Savona equipment app for Android and iPhone. So they can download that and they can upload their equipment there. Again, make an account, upload their equipment.
Mm-hmm.
We always review it, just for layout and accuracy.
Not a free-for-all.
No.
Okay.
A lot of folks don't know what exactly to put up there.
Right,
So
yeah.
it's not just like a classified platform where you just put the information up and it's relying on your marketing ability. We do all that, we review it, and then we post it. But
So when they post it, then is there direct communication though? Then if someone uploads a ball mill, obviously you're reaching out to them, finding the details, and then your helper finding that listing. It's sort of almost an initial step, but like you said, as a comparison, like a classified app. Sort of thing.
Yeah, there is a lot of direct contact. That's the majority. But once they know us, they can just upload it through the app or through our website. They just upload the equipment. We review it, post it, and they get a message that it's on there. Some of it can be same day. If we get all the information, their equipment can be posted on our website in the same day that they list it.
I was curious because obviously being on the email list, so I sometimes get these wanted emails, like wanted equipment. Does that generate a lot? Do you see people see that and they go, oh, I got one of those?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Common things like, I think every week we have a concentrating table on there, or a ball mill or a crusher. People are always looking for these pieces of equipment, and a lot of times we'll find it, sell it in the same day. I just sold a table 2 weeks ago, same day. We put it on the wanted, went out to however many thousand people,
Right.
found one, and it was sold the same day.
So you're putting on your website, you'll see stuff that's marked as sold in that, but you're leaving it up there a lot of times because if someone else has one or they're looking for one, do you get a lot of that? So, oh, you did have one. Is there another one available?
Yeah, we do get a lot of that. I mean, it shows people that these are items that, we've had, they've sold, and often we need more of them. There's some really common items that we always need, clients always need. So,
What about those the ones that always need? I hate to. This is going to be a true layman question, but why are they so popular? Like, why are tables? Like, I see them when I see the wanted. It's almost always on there. why are so many people buying them as opposed to buying another product?
They're not as specialized. I mean, they're obviously specialized in what they do, but they're not, everybody that has like a placer mine and they have
Yeah.
a gold room, they need a table.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So whereas a ball mill, somebody's always looking for a ball mill, but they need very specific sizes. So a table is, there's A, B, C to choose from. And so everybody needs one of those. So
Is it like the ball mills though? I mean, do those, again, these are layman questions, but I know ball mills will stay for sale on any website for quite a while, and then all of a sudden they're gone. It's because when someone needs it, they need it. Is there much play with them though? Like or is most of the ball mill, are they getting integrated into an existing plant? Is someone piecing them together? Sort of, how do those transactions happen?
it depends. Sometimes it's a new mill that's being put together. Sometimes a mill is down, they need to plug one in.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, they're very specialized in terms of size and horsepower. So if we have it, great. But yeah, there's a wide range of sizes. So the small ones, they go into pilot plants and things like that. They go quick. Larger ones, it's a very specific fit.
Until someone needs it, then they need it.
Yeah.
Another theme that we're going to be talking a lot about here at CIM is going to be the demand, the metals demand that's coming up. Are you on the plant side of things? Is that still a focus? Do you have plants for sale that you're selling on behalf of people that you sort of want to highlight?
Yeah, we do. For example, right now we have a 3,500 ton per day CIL plant in South America. We're always looking for more plants. For every item or plant we sell, I need 3 more. So right now we're trying to find plants, anything from 50 ton per day pilot plants to 5,000 ton per day CIL or similar, up to 10,000. They're hard to find. So
you get more people looking for them than are selling them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Are they now when someone's looking for them? I mean, and it's always a curious thing is the sort of these timelines, because you've got a plan here. Obviously, someone would like to get it if it's not moving. They'd obviously like to get it moved yesterday. Someone's trying to price it out, but they might not be going into operation for 2 years. Do these? I mean, some of these projects, do they take quite a while to actually piece it together?
Yeah, it could be years, or they need it the next day. Funding comes together, permits come together, and you have the plant, then boom, you can get it done quickly. But sometimes it takes years for it to materialize. We can sell the plant anytime, obviously,
Yeah.
but sometimes it doesn't come together that quickly. So usually, when you're buying a used plant, there's going to be some creativity required to
Right.
make it fit and work.
Well, because even on landscape, the way it's set up and everything like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's, part of what we do is, taking prospective buyers through the plant, through the process of buying it, getting it from A to B. And, normally their engineering team, they determine exactly what they need and what needs to be done. But, part of our job is to facilitate that whole process.
I was curious when you were talking about that process, though. Something that came to my mind is that I know you've been involved in the plants for a while now, and have you sort of learned that I guess there's a bit of an art of managing the person who's trying to sell it, and by sort of that managing those expectations. Like even if you look back to, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, when you getting into that sort of that large scale stuff, do you sort of approach it differently? Have you learned to sort of start the initial conversation different than maybe you did, 7, 8 years ago?
I mean, every situation is different, right? So, yeah, I would say every plant depends on location, who owns it, how quickly it needs to be moved off the property it's on. Yeah, every situation. I've seen plants stay on a site for 10 years, maybe more. I don't want to say more, but it happens, right?
It does happen,
So,
yeah.
it's that plant was built for a specific purpose, for a
Right.
specific site. And now you want to take that and you want to move it from Canada to South Africa. It's different. It's a different plant is needed. So you got to take the components, you got to decide what components are enough of a fit at a new site.
Does do the customers that I guess I'm making the assumption they'd be pretty sophisticated if they're thinking about a plant in Latin America that wants to go to Africa. Or do a lot of them not even realize the scope of what they're trying to tackle doing that's a huge undertaking to do that.
It depends. Yeah, it depends. There's obviously a lot of sophisticated mining companies, large CapEx projects, and then there's, private mines that, they're on a more of a budget, smaller team, and, they're working with what they can get. Right. And, and that's more often than not, that's our clientele.
So sort of that budget constraint is going to be.
That's the niche we're filling as far as plants. Other equipment, not necessarily, but as far as complete plants, mill circuits, that's usually going to a private owned mine.
Well, going to some of the other equipment like the high G, we've done an episode on it before. How's that sort of progressed over the last couple of years as you developed that product line? I mean, I see it again. I get the emails. I see it. Sort of where is that at?
It's been good. It's taking a company that was off the market for a while and rebuilding it back up. Alongside everything we do at Savona Equipment. So yeah, it's taken some time, and it's a steady growth. There's really good competitors on the market. But where high G is kind of fits in the placer mining, alluvial mining niche.
Right.
It's a really strong product for that application. We've got models that will fit in the mill circuits as well, but predominantly we're selling placer units right now. So
when you get, I see the smaller units, and I always assume those are going to be your test for the testing, and then it's like it goes from like 0 to 100, because then I see other pictures where there's one, but there's the big one, but then there's 5 big ones lined up. So is that usually the case once you go into the bigger scale ones, that they're going to be multiples, or are some people buying, what are the size ranges in the high?
They go from 250 pounds an hour processing to 60 ton per hour.
Okay, so with a 60
solids,
with a 60 ton, would you see very often one 60-ton unit in a plant? I guess I always see the pictures of 5.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it's just if you need 100, then obviously you need 2 of them. So it depends. But yeah, there's often single, like a P40. There'll be one of them if you need a 60 ton per hour capacity unit.
I was talking to someone, Australian company, and they said in Australia a lot of times you'll see the companies will a little bit different here than Canada, where they'll start on a kind of a larger scale right out the gate. You'll see a more of a scale up approach. So are those units quite good for that? Because if you do, like, let's say a P40, then could you integrate in, like, what would the next size be up from P40?
Well, that's the largest size. So if you want to scale up in capacity, you just add more units.
Yeah. So what would be the size below a P40?
That would be a 21.
A 21. So could you do a 21 and then add in a 40 to operate along with the 20? Like, or does that get?
Yeah, you could, no, you can mix and match them. And a lot of times they'll be the primary unit, and then there'll be a secondary unit that will upgrade the concentrate from a larger one.
So is that a different type of is it a different, or is it just is it a different sort of process? I know I should understand this, but
no, it's not. No, it's not. It's for a placer mine, it's normally it'll concentrate whatever's coming from the wash plant. And then if you need, if you have 30 tons per hour of -5 mil material, then you can use one P21.
Okay.
If you double that, then you use 2, or you get a P40. But you just add on. It's not really staged normally. Yeah. We also have the test units, so they're used for field testing, and then they can also be like a P5T. You can use it for testing in the field, bucket samples, and then you can put it into your gold room and use it for cleaning up concentrates. You take the concentrate from that, and then you run it over your table. It's not the final step. You still need 1 or 2 more steps. So
not to get into the secret sauce too much, but if you're selling one unit, are you a lot of times selling the other? If you're selling a concentrator, is the table going with it, and then is there a pump going with that? Like, is it packaging most of the time?
Typically, yeah. Typically, it's. Savona Equipment is predominantly a used equipment company. So Hy-G is new equipment, but we don't own a pump line and a table line. So we have one product that is our focus, and we try to make that the best it can be, and then we rely on other suppliers to supply the pumps and the concentrators or the concentrating tables, and then we'll put a package together like that, or the client gets to choose where they get those other pieces they need from. So it's good for them. They can plug our machine in. They don't have to take everything else with it. They can just take one piece of equipment that we specialize in, and they can, if they want to find used product, we can help them with that. But if they want all new, then they're going to have to go to another supplier and get those pieces, which is fine with us. We'll work with them.
Yeah, well, hopefully at the next you got to do I think it was Cat ones. I saw that they just had an order. They had an order on their way somewhere, and then they just stopped it at a trade show and just parked it in the middle of the thing. So hopefully on the next show you've got an order, you just pull it along with you.
That would be nice.
Okay, thanks Jordan for coming on the show again. Thank you everybody for watching. We are just gearing up here at CIM. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it's pretty much now, it's going to be tradition to interview Savona Equipment at the show. So thank you for watching. See you on the next episode of Mining Now.